Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Speaker Circle. This evening, I have with me award-winning saxophonist and composer, Mr. Carl Bartlett Jr. Welcome, Carl, to Speaker Circle.
Hey Lisa, how are you? Thank you for having me. Pleasure,
I
honor.
am feeling fantastic. Thank you for being here. We are so excited to have you. Thank you. I know we had a little technical issues, but we're all good now, so that's awesome.
All good. No
So, Carl,
problem. All good.
a little bit about, I am intrigued with music, period. I know that it really helps for so many benefits, but tell us a little bit about your background with music and how you got started playing the saxophone and becoming an award-winning composer. That's so exciting.
Sure, my pleasure. I come from a household, really loving household, and music has always filled the home. Uh, my father and my uncle, they actually have their own band, and it's called the Bartlett Contemporaries, and they've been playing with that band for about 55 years now. And my mom sings a little bit; she plays piano. My grandmothers, they sang, played piano. My grandfather was musically inclined, so I come from a household that really loved music, and you could say that that really rubbed off on me. And so, in particular, I like the saxophone because my dad plays sax. Picked that up at age 11. I got into jazz at age 14, and I've been going ever since. I released a couple of critically acclaimed jazz albums, and in I think about 2015, 2016. I became the first place winner in the USA, second in the world in the international songwriting competition
That's
in the
awesome.
jazz category. And here we are now in 2020 with Serene New You sax, something that I really believe will help a lot of people overcome stress and anxiety.
I love it. And what an appropriate time with the pandemic going on. I even went to my doctor just for a regular checkup, and he said he has more people coming in the office for stress and anxiety because of the whatever the state of the world. So, how appropriate. Now, do you normally stay really stress free because you are a saxophonist and you love to have a really calm and jazz tone? I hope we didn't lose you. You there, Carl? Can you hear me, Carl? We may have lost Carl for a second while he's getting his connection together. I did want to make sure I put up on the screen Carl's website that you can check out. He has an album coming out on August 15th, which is National Relaxation Day. I think you're back with us, Carl. I was telling everyone that August 15th is National Relaxation Day, and you have a special album dropping on that day. You can check out his website at serenenewusax.com. Look it up. Carl has a special edition for everyone who downloads the album on August 15th, which I didn't even know was National Relaxation Day. While we're waiting for Carl to get his connection back up, some of the things he wanted to share is how powerful music is. And I love to talk about that because when your mind is racing about different things, if you're having anxiety and stress, being able to shift your energy by listening to music is powerful. I like to talk about ants, which is automatic negative thoughts. And when you're having automatic negative thoughts, one will just beget another and another and another. So having the ability to listen to music and shift your state of mind is so powerful. We'll see if Carl is able to get back with us. I'm not sure. He may be having technical issues. Are you there, Carl? I was just sharing with everyone about the benefits of music. And I know you said that listening to music that makes you happy helps your brain. So if there is something that you're stressed out about, taking a few songs that truly mean a lot to you, give you that euphoric feeling. All of us have songs that may remind us of a time period in our life. I know even the 80s music or 90s music, or maybe music from the 2000s if you're a lot younger. If you hear a song and it brings you to a reminiscent moment and how exciting you felt, that is a powerful way to shift your energy, to calm your soul, and really to help your mind to get back on track. Another thing that Carl really wanted to share with everyone was that listening to music an hour before you go to bed is a great way to relieve stress. So if you have some classical music or jazz, something that can really help to decompress you from the day, get off of your phone, get off of social media, get off of the news, and really let your brain waves just sink and relax into some great songs. Another thing that Carl shared, which I thought was amazing, is BPM stands for beats per minute. And if you listen to music that's between 55 and 60 beats per minute, it syncs with your heart rate because your resting heart rate should be between 55 and 60 beats per minute. So if that happens and you're listening to that type of music, your brain signals your heart, and then your heart and brain are in sync. And that's another powerful way for you to be calm and allow music to help you be stress-free so that you can have clearer and more concise communication. If we're stressed out and we're not able to really compartmentalize the thoughts in our mind, then that leads us to a lot of anxiety and stress. Carl, I'm so glad to have you back. I was sharing with everyone some of your tips, and your microphone is actually muted. I don't think I can unmute you. Your microphone is muted, Carl. Your microphone is muted. I think you can hear me. Carl, your microphone is muted. Well, as we know, technology, as lovely as it is, there are times that it is not reliable. So I want to share the last thing about what Carl was saying is how music is a universal language. And no matter where you are and what social economic status or cultural background you have, music can unify all of us. And in a time where we have a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of different things going on in our world, I want to send a big prayer and lots of love to the people who were affected by the explosion. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. And having music as a way to calm and unify is a powerful tool for communication. Sometimes you don't have to speak with words or speak with your nonverbal or verbal. You can just truly play some great music. Let's see if Carl could get it back with there. Are you back with us, Carl?
Hey, Lisa, I lost you for a minute. I know what, how you doing.
I was giving everyone all the gems that you shared, so I hope I didn't spoiler alert you.
Great.
But I was just going through, number one, your awesome release that's going to happen on August 15th, which is
Right.
National Relaxation Day. If you want to share with us a little bit about what that's about.
Sure, right. Thank you. So Serene New You Sax is launching on August 15th, National Relaxation Day. And how it came about is, I would say about 2 years ago, in roughly about 2018, maybe mid to latter part of 2018, I keyed in on a story on the news about how many young people and baby boomers were being affected by high anxiety and stress for whatever reason. You know, it could be job related with the economy, you know, things that are happening at home. And the story really affected me. And I said, how can I do something about this as a musician? I'm not a medical doctor, but how can I, but how could I help these people who, especially in the case of young people who are supposed to be in the prime of their life,
Yes.
you know, vibrant and not, you know, living in entropy? How can I do something to really affect these people for the better and rid them of anxiety and stress and help them overcome it? So I kind of went into studying relaxation music. And what I did was combine that study with the 20 years of experience that I already had as a professional musician with studying intervals and chords and harmonies and how that affects emotions and people's well-being.
Wow.
And it was roughly about a 2-year study of just melding the two, and of course intangibles and everything like that. Yeah, and here we are in 2020 with the release of, or the launch of, Serene New You Sax, and down to the name of the title, Serene New You. If you just focus on the first 3 words, I want to let people know, Serene New You, that they are going to see a transformation. Before they listen, after they listen, they're going to be at point B. It's going to be a new you, a serene new you. And the sax is self-explanatory.
I love it. Serene is such a great word because it just makes you think of a state of just calmness and all of just like organic and everything just flowing nicely. Now, what other things did you find out when you did that study for 2 years? Was there something else that
Sure.
was so shocking to you?
I wouldn't say shocking, but to like I always say, like when you try and make someone healthier, because we all know music can make you feel good. We all know that. But the
Mhm.
thing was to make people feel better, but also to make them healthier. So to
Wow.
actually make them also make them be better. So I learned some things about the actual genre of relaxation music. And that's not the end all be all, it's not just about the genre. No, no, no. It's about really effectuating that positive change in health wise in people. But I learned about different types of sonic mantras that you can use, how that induces a relaxation
What is
response.
a sonic mantra? I love that. I'm intrigued.
Sure. So a sonic mantra is either like a phrase or something that is repeated, just like a mantra that you
Mm.
keep on that you just keep on saying or just repeating for. The time could vary, but it's in this case a phrase. So a sonic instrumental mantra. Mantras are spoken. In this case, I play saxophone, so it's like a sonic instrumental mantra. Just
Wow.
lines and ideas that you keep repeating, and what the effect that has is on the listener, their brain, like the brain entrainment, they focus on that mantra, and
Mm.
it comforts them because they can expect it, and the heart and the mind and the brain, it syncs to it, and it's a wonderful thing. And just different things. Sonic mantras. There's something called isochronic tones. That's like a
Okay.
pulsing, and yeah, and
Kind of
you
like
can
that techno music when they're like pump, 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 pump. Like,
not, but in a relaxing way, right? Something like that.
okay. Oh,
But
in a relaxation way. Okay, I got you. I got you.
right, but it's but what I do is it's a pulsing noise or sound, but it can be I do it in a very relaxing way. And isochronic tones is
Mhm.
actually one of the cornerstones of relaxation music, but it's just how you use it. So the way I use it in Serene New You sax, I do it in a subtle way, and it's through very
Mhm.
light, I would say vibrato with the saxophone,
Okay.
kind of like wow, 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 and it slows down. So you want to go from like a little quicker to a little slower, and so you give people the appearance of you're going from here and you're calming, you're getting more relaxed. So yeah, and just
Wow.
yeah, and just other things about the genre uh, that were eye-opening, but just combined with like intangibles in terms of inflections, how I go from note to note.
Mm.
And I would say the biggest thing about Serene New You sax, that I call it the guiding light, is really the tone, the timbre of the saxophone, whether it's a cappella or the harmonies. It's just, I would describe it as, yes, it's a warm tone, and but it's a loving and a nurturing tone. It's really a nurturing tone, and tone is one of the biggest factors in helping people
Yeah.
relax. Just
And I
tone
think when
itself.
you say tone, that also transcends to your verbal communication, your tone
Right,
and how relaxed you are. Because if you have a very stressed out tone, then that sets the tone of the conversation. Which we
right.
actually have a great question from Nadia, your cousin. She's so awesome.
Nadia, what's up?
Great. When is the best time to listen to relaxation music? At the start of your day, midday, or before you go to bed?
Right. Well, I think you had something up before, like think about like
Yes.
if you listen to nice relaxation music within an hour of going to sleep, studies have found that that greatly improves your sleep because it reduces the tension in the muscles, and it
Mm.
really so within an hour is really good. Now of course, if you are very tired and you get in, and of course you just want to hit the sack, by all means don't grab your plan and start putting the music on. If you're tired, we all go to bed, but it could greatly help within an hour of going to bed. But I would say in general, anytime you get a break or something like that, this is
Mhm.
powerful music, and the goal is to provide people with an option that is enjoyable,
Yes.
safe and very effective. Maybe an option that they might not have considered. A lot of people take medication for relaxation or for
Yeah.
anxiety, and I wanted to do something, I guess, somewhat groundbreaking, and say, here, everyone, this is music. Music can actually make you healthier. And there's no real right or wrong time. You can listen throughout the day, maybe 2, 3 times a day if you'd like. But what I would say is to make it a habit, make it a habit of
Mm.
listening to this, so that your baseline anxiety day after day goes from here a little bit lower,
Wow.
a little bit lower, a little bit lower.
And that's powerful for communication for those of you who work in high stress environments where you have to communicate. Maybe having a routine, kind of like before you game time, listening to calming music would probably help to shift your energy. I know working in high stress environments or when you have to deal with a lot of different personalities, being able to be mindful, I think that would be a powerful add-on too. Also, we had a great
Absolutely.
comment from Joanne. She said, this is so necessary, especially during these times. Wonderful. Thanks, Carl. And I agree. I do think that it is really necessary because people forget the little things just to help calm themselves. Earlier, you shared with me something about the BPMs and music, and I'm sure I didn't do as good of a job as you did to explain it, but I thought that was really, really insightful because you said our resting heart rate, the BPM, is normally 55 to 60. So share a little bit about why music with that type of beats, how does that help your mind and your brain, your heart and
Right.
your
Sure, no problem. So, I mean, the average resting heart rate is anywhere from about 60 BPM to maybe
Mhm.
90, maybe a little less than that, somewhere about there. But what you want to do in the case of relaxation is maybe focus on kind of maybe like the lower end of that,
Okay.
around 60. And it's pretty much for the reason that we mentioned. That's like a baseline resting heart rate, 60,
Mhm.
70 BPM. And what happens is when the listener sometimes, like in terms of minutes, it could take anywhere from maybe even 15 minutes to half an hour for the listener to really become like entrained to that.
Yeah.
But what that is, that BPM or beats per minute, with enough listening, the mind and the body actually sync to somewhere around where the music is going. Let's say it doesn't sync exactly, like semantically to 60, but what it does, if you have anxiety or your stress level is up, if you put on something that is at a resting heart rate in terms of tempo, and it doesn't have to be overt, like an overt beat, it can even be subtle.
Mm,
Um,
the background, like a bed of music.
Right, right. Then through the minutes, the listener not only becomes less anxious and has less
Mm.
stress, but the their heart rate also starts to sync to that slower pulse.
That's interesting you say that. And I 100% believe it because I think about the opposite end. I'm not a fan of horror movies or horror films, but when that song comes on, it's like, and it's the scary music, even if nothing's happening, because the music, it's like your heart gets all racing, your brain. So that's so powerful. You think about the opposite end, or when you listen to things that are just very loud and you have, or everyone has their hype song that they put on. So you have to have
Right.
your D hype song as well, huh?
Right, and the great thing about like the hype song, even though as I mentioned earlier, relaxation music is generally at a slower tempo, but the good thing
Mhm.
about even hype songs or songs that are at a faster tempo is what I mentioned, in that when you listen to a song that you love, it
Yes.
actually, no matter what the tempo, it actually makes the brain release dopamine, and dopamine, as
Yes.
we all know, is the happy hormone. So even if it's a faster tune, fine. If it's one that you love, it can actually make you happier. Science proves this. So that's fine as well.
I love it. I love it. And that I often do that whenever I'm like feeling like a lot of stuff's going on. I love to put on music. I really do. We had another great comment. Says that National Relaxation Day is the day before school starts. And this is in, I guess, Charlotte. This is a great
Okay.
for parents who will be homeschooling their children. Perfect timing. I totally agree. What
Right.
do you think, like the musical benefits for children? Do you feel like that's another great thing to help calm your kids and get them into the proper zones of regulation?
That's a that's a great question. That's a great question. Thank you so much to who asked that question. But yes, music is wonderful for everybody, and children especially. It, first
Mhm.
of all, it's great cognitively to, like, children, it seems kids these days, they learn songs so quickly. I mean, as soon as it
Yeah.
comes out, they know the hook, they know the verse, the chorus, everything. So
I know you've always heard your parents say, "Oh, you know that rap song. I hope you know your schoolwork," like that, right?
right,
But it's the music,
right.
I guess, that hook that helps to like make it stick.
Right, right. It has the hook. It's very good for them cognitively. You know, it also teaches them about like call, especially like in a jazz way, but also other forms of music about unity and playing together, and also
Mhm.
call and response, like take your turn. Oh wait, the guitarist did this. Now the saxophone. Oh wait, he answered the you know, that same idea, that musical idea like this. It teaches you about connecting on that level, listening and then responding,
Wow.
call and response, taking turns. It teaches you about concentration. I mean, I could go on a very long time, but the benefits of music in children is quite apparent. And I think that in some form or fashion, whether it's whatever type of music children listen to, I
Mhm.
think music should be a part of children's lives for sure.
I love when you talked about call and response because not being a musician, I don't realize you're right. Every instrument has to have its time. You see your notes. And it's the same thing with verbal communication, knowing how to have that respect to let someone call and they talk and then they respond and you respond back. So that is really powerful. Now, we didn't get a chance to really hear about you earlier because we had a little technical issues, but tell us, I know you
Sure.
right now for a living, you teach music, right?
Right, right. I teach music, middle school. Oh
Middle
boy.
school. So you are
Right,
there in the trenches. You see the benefits of music and
right.
children and their development. Do you think it's great for confidence as well to help build? If a kid is struggling with confidence, is music something that could really help them flourish?
Right. Yeah. Music is an outlet, but it's also a way of for children to thrive. You know,
Mm,
because you know, there's nothing like, I had a scenario last year where a student, you know, playing instruments is one thing, but as soon as you introduce vocals to it, it puts like the student in a shell because they don't want to sing. You know,
yes.
so I had a scenario last year where one of my students absolutely did not want to sing for the concert, and I wasn't too overbearing, but I sort of nudged. It was actually two students, but I nudged one of my. Can you just give Mr. Bartlett? I promise I'll work with you. You'll do fine. He did not find not one mistake. He floored everyone at the concert, and his confidence went through the roof. I would call his name now, but I might embarrass him, so I'm not going to do that.
That's awesome. That is
But
awesome.
yeah, but it really instills confidence and character and a sense of, hey, you can do it, which you
Yeah.
can, which you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know this has just been such great information. Want to just to remind everyone out there on August 15th, it is National Relaxation Day. And Carl, tell us a little bit about the special promotion you have going on for everyone to get an original track composed and played by yours truly. Tell us a little bit about what specials you have going on.
Sure, yes. I want everybody to know two things. So the big day is August 15th, 2020, National Relaxation Day. The Serene New You Sax soundtrack will be available for download right on my company website. So that's serenenewusax.com. One more time, serenenewusax.com. You can download it right at the company website on August 15th. Now, what we're going to do is, I have something called the product launch 5-day celebration. So everyone who gets the track will get 33% off of the download starting from August 15th, which of course is launch day, through August 19th. So August 15th through August 19th, it's 5 days, the product launch 5-day celebration, 33% off of the download. The second thing is, I want everyone to know we're going to do a little something extra special for our launch day customers. So those of you who actually purchase on launch day, August 15th, not only will you get the 33% off, but you'll also get five or six really beautiful and breathtaking nature photos that I actually took myself, included in the order. That's just for launch day. So whoever purchased on August 15th, you'll get the photos as well. And that's really important because we're giving you relaxation through your ears and
Mhm.
also the visual. So you can use it for screensaver or wallpaper, however you like.
Nice. So you're just like an all-around artist because all those, so are you a photographer as well?
I am not a photographer, but I will admit the pictures are really, really nice. But I'll tell you a story. I was inspired to take these pictures by my mother because she took the for my second jazz album, she did the entire album in terms of photography. So she really,
Wow.
yeah, for the album Promise. So
That's
she did,
awesome. Well, I tell you,
yeah.
it's just a whole circle of life, right? Music is so holistic, it's so natural, and to use elements of nature to help relax, definitely. I'll make sure that I post it on my social media. August 15th is National Relaxation Day. We really need to
Right.
relax, especially on that day, but every day is a great day to relax. I know we've had some great comments and stuff. Carl, did you have any closing remarks you wanted to share with everyone, and how people can get started if you're not normally a music listener? I mean, is there a certain way that you can get started to, get more adept to more relaxation music?
Sure. Well, just let me. What I'll do is I'll tell you just a few ways you can do it, even without music. You can relax many ways, and don't just listen to me, but just there's tons of things out there that you can do. You can walk, just nature, walk in the park.
Yeah.
That releases adrenaline. Do some mindful breathing. That activates
Mm.
the parasympathetic. That's what you want to do in terms of relaxation. But there's just so many things you can do. In terms of music, like I said, whether it's relaxation music or simply a song that you love, some people are just casual listeners. They just,
Yeah.
just to have it on, which is great, But if you can really key in on a song or songs that you love, that's very important, because that it makes you happier. This is actually proven. It actually makes you happier, and the happiness starts even in the anticipation of listening to the music. So it builds even before you actually hear the actual tune. And as far as relaxation music, you can, please, I would love you to check out Serene New You sax. But there are other things out there. Just look up the genre and see why things work.
Yeah.
And but I just want to say I made this with tons of love,
Oh,
yeah, and really, because like the thing behind it is, every note, every phrase, I'm thinking about how can I make someone's life better? How can I make them healthier through
yeah.
music? How will this phrase reduce their stress and anxiety and give them a better life and help them overcome this?
Wow, that's powerful. I tell you, a lot of us are like-hearted, not even like-minded, like when your heart is in the right place and you want to do the right thing. And being an artist that you are and having that much compassion for others and teaching middle schoolers, I tell you, you are a change agent. So honored to have you here today. Make sure everyone checks out, put the website on up again. It's Serene New You Sax, which is such a cool website name. August 15th is National Relaxation Day. Carl, it has been an absolute honor to have you. And thank you for powering through even with the technical difficulties. You've given us some great information. I mean, I'm like, okay, you've really broken it down. So, and all this transcends into communication styles, right? Because the
Absolutely.
cooler your mind is, the calmer your mind is, the better communicator you'll become.
Absolutely. And Lisa, let me ask you one more thing. I didn't know, because I know we had a little bit of tech issues in the beginning. I said something about my family. I didn't know if that was about my father, my uncle being having their own band. I don't know if that was
Yes,
cut
you
off at
said
the
that
end.
they were the band, and then your mom did some vocals.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great. I always like to give them the props because they are so dear to me. I always like to make sure that I, give them all the
Absolutely, shout them
accolades.
out again. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good. Awesome.
No, we
Thank
do.
you.
And I tell you, well, your family did a great job. And even I know your cousin Nadia gave you a big shout out too. And I
Oh, Nadia.
appreciate you. It has been phenomenal. And that's how we connected through Nadia, which is great. And I
Right.
love it. We'll continue to promote this. And thank you for making a difference for so many people, because this is the state of the world where we need things to reset our mind and calm our souls so that we can communicate more effectively and concisely.
Right. That sounds good. I just want to, Lisa, thank you so much. It's really an honor to be on your show. And everybody, thanks for listening. And as Lisa would do,
Lots of love. And I
lots of
appreciate
love.
everyone for tuning in and all your patience. And as I always say, let's continue to grow together. Have a phenomenal week.